Welcome to the Connie stream. Today, Modern Challenge. With Big Titan. Oh, relatively. Oh. Cat Blue. Kept Zenith plus Arbor. Dryad, Valakut. A few extra green sources.
He's a phenomenal control player.
The fixture of the deck now. 8 bounce lands. No Minstrel because I have no blue mana to play it if I draw it. Only have a few sources, 9, 10. Too low. And no disputes, which disputes were nice, obviously, but I guess we don't get to play both them in Pyroclasm, so we have to choose. Well, hello, Mr. Levunga. Welcome. 2 days ago playing blue-white. This hand is not great against blue-white, but it's just fine overall, so I will keep it. I summon Amulet, next turn I summon Splonking, put Wooded Foothills into graveyard. Fetch, Surveillant. Counterspell milled. Did he keep a 1-lander? Perhaps. I'm back. Good GSZ for Dryad Arbor, which seems like an absolutely heinous play, which I will not be making. I'll be saving GSZ for a so-called threat. Maybe Dryad of Ilysian Grove next turn. Let's say card that has to be answered. The very least. Quantum Rizzler. Will you have Ephemerate, broski? Hopefully not. Ooh, nice. No Ephemerate, just Warping. Just 2 mana draw card. Truly a game changer in Modern. Saga. Don't think Saga does much for me. Might actually even be better in my graveyard for Woodland. I mean, Saga is relatively nice. This is Wrath of the Skies, paradoxically, here. So maybe I should keep Saga and play Saga Zenith for Dryad. Or maybe just play Saga Pass. Although Zenith for Dryad is kind of nice. Forces my opponent to act. Drawing a threat would be way better than just a Saga though. Have no map. Wrath of the Skies with a Plains just destroys everything. It's actually not great. Yeah, let's not. Explore. Explore is nice. We can start with Explore. 2 explores, he's good. Another Amulet. That's kind of crazy good, frankly. Maybe I can just try to win instead. This is 4 mana. So I can just bounce the Crumbling Vestige. It's gonna be 7 mana and then I play Titan. Maybe Colossus is better than a Titan in this spot, honestly. Probably is. Fearing Solitude. That might be the case. I think I'll pick up the Vestige now. Maybe a mistake, I guess, if I'm Colossusing, but it's gonna be fine. If Colossus resolves, probably gonna get Force of Negation anyways or something. Whoa. Well, I could actually screw myself could have actually screwed myself by bouncing the bounce land. How much mana do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Too little. Okay, it's good. Although maybe I'll get subbed, but that's fine. Feels like Levunga kept a sus hand. Oh kurva, I don't have enough mana. Whoops. I just assumed I will. Whoops. Well, should I play the Titan first then? Whoops. And yesterday I played 77 cards yesterday. It was just like I expected. What did you expect? Did you expect to draw well and win easily? Nice for you then. Good job. Mayata. I wonder if I can lose now because of that play. Seems pretty tough, but... Well, Solitude. Gonna Ephemerate now? Probably had Ephemerate, but no third land with Rizzler. No? Curious. You expected to draw better, and you kinda did. Zenith was nice, you did not expect... Ooh, no counterspell? Just sub? That's awesome. Guess I can lose, but it's unlikely. At this point. I would be not unhappy with counterspell as well, because Titan would be fine. Here Villain, Wrath of the Skies, but now they have no pitch spells, and I play Titan and haste them. Expected to draw better and you kinda did. Zenith was nice, you did not expect to draw both pacts early, but it still happened. I guess that's like literally what's been happening to me as well. I've like it's kind of more consistent and like in some ways it's less consistent, you know, fewer broken double amulet hands or like saga amulet hands, which are giga OP and you want as many of those as you can, but it's pretty tricky. You have no idea how to use pre-order in this deck. Just tap blue, cast, look for what you are lacking. Hope that helps. Kinda silly, right? How would you not know how to use a pre-order? It's a giga basic card. But it's pretty awkward, and with the Survel lands, sometimes you kind of just wanted to Survel over preordaining, so tough choice. Tough choice here for sure. Alright, I would find haste, bounce land, bounce the haste, haste second, attack, find lands, make Dryad into a creature, find Valakut, find Vesuva for Valakut to kill, or fetches. Like, I do have to say that I think Zenith is kind of nice if you have Dryad Arbor in your deck. Actually, like, I having played with this in big decks, I've warmed up on that, but it's still not a priority for me over Explore. Which is why I felt bad for playing GSU of Dryad Arbor in 60. Because I felt the lack of Explore, because you could say that GSZ for 2 mana for Grazer is basically an Explore, but it's like saying that Divination is the same card as Reach Through Mists, which is not the case, right? You draw... Like, to draw a card versus not to draw a card is a huge deal. So I'm not buying that entirely. And also Grazer is pretty bad in plenty of matchups where I actually don't want to draw it. Like this one. So it's a bit tricky and maybe not necessarily the truth. I keep the sagas and try to pace them, just one at a time, maybe cut one scape shift, or maybe cut one saga is fine, is a fine strat. Wrath of the Skies is a bitch. Right, one scape shift. Big Titan, yeah. Added Hollow Knight OST, Hornet, Silksong soon, right? I'm pretty sure that by going like the 77 card variant with blue mana, which is kind of just every variant with blue mana, you're giving up points against energy. It's just nice to have a card that can be a Titan or a 6 or an Analyst, depending on the rest of the game. Yeah. But I think what truly... Right, please no wrath. I think what truly makes a difference in this scenario is the Dryad Arbor, because if you don't have Dryad Arbor, then GSZ is bad in your opening hand. And I think that's a big deal. Well, no wrath, right? Because I think the 2 mana get a Grazer mode is actually really disappointing. And just Grazer is sketchy enough as is in most matchups, in matchups where it doesn't block. And just having your GSZ be more copies of Grazer for 2 mana, it just exacerbates the issues. Bro, don't draft me. No. Tank, play best possible. Let's fucking go. Well, we get to stick a grid at least. Not that it's gonna do much. Gonna get prismatically ending in 0.001 seconds. Love your shirt, thank you. I first saw you were playing Crabvine. You should do it for fun again. Maybe it's aggressive enough to steal some wins. Oh, Crabvine is probably not the most horrible deck that there is. So maybe. Feels poor to play 6 into a Solitude. 4 cards in Villain's hand. Let's instead transmute for a Pact, and next turn I'll have 7 mana, so I can get a Titan with Amulet in play. With GSZ, and then follow up with a Titan with a Pact, so that's a plan at least. Getting sacks, too bad here. Maybe I should be trying to Analyst with this. And with T-West in my graveyard. That's also an option. Counterspell? Sure. Pact for Mr. Beast, that's an option. Happy to have traded. Kind of puzzling, but kind of makes sense, but sure, I'm happy with that happened. or sad because my opponent's hand is Giga OP and has everything they could have jammed off anyways in more copies than they need to. No surveils? Really? You only run 2? Interesting, Mr. Levunga. Tune the narrative, okay. Dryad Arbor, now that's solid. Alright, Chujow huh? Oh, there's the third one, yeah. Did not look at it. Well, this 6, at least I wouldn't play it into a Solitude. So maybe now it's 6 time. Replay an Amulet. Not the best, but if I draw well, it's a good play. At least, like, it lets me keep drawing well. Alright, counterspell, that's fine. Awkward here because I wanted to play the Vestige, but now, like, okay, I have a Titan. Still kind of awkward because of blue required for T-West. But, I mean, already spent 2 counterspells. Did that just mean you had 3, or are you gonna sub me and I can recast it next turn? Hope it's sub. Nice. Well, we have a plan then. Get ephemeраted 5 times in a row and die. Or it's just subbed again. This is pretty rough already because I should I play the Lotus Field? I don't actually know if I should. Say I will. I'll put Vesuva in my graveyard for a future analyst. I draw a Spelunking, but now I die in 2 turns to those subtleties, so that's not pleasant. 2 mana, 3 mana, Tefari. Not bouncing sub. Not sure what he meant. Jov Broco. Dobra. I can't win. Subtlety, absolutely overpowered. You know what? I should have 4 Scapeshift in my deck and 1 fewer Saga, because drawing multi-Scapeshifts actually can accomplish something over a longer game.
He's a phenomenal control player.
And the Sagas are actually punishing, This game I was pretty punished for trying to go for playing out the Amulet turn 1. Like maybe I could have waited. Maybe I could have just played the Saga and not Amulet. I'm not sure why I played the Amulet, frankly, in the larger picture. Because I should have played the Saga and then just have that, right? And then once my Saga gets an Amulet, then I defense grid. And if that gets countered, then I go second Amulet, then I go Lotus Field, and that gets subtletied. Actually, I had a GSD, so yeah, maybe I actually had a way to win. I think I actually had a possible way to win. Alp MTG, thank you very much for the sub, and thank you for your sub message. I appreciate that a lot. And 51 years of subbing is just, wow, impressive. Dryad just to have an easier win online, or actually good. Dryad here to have a free drop main deck to fetch with GSZ, so that GSZ is relevant at various points of the game. Mostly. Could also play a Sex main deck, and then you can skip Valakut, but Dryad is like sort of good against energy, kinda, not really, occasionally useful, I guess, maybe. Dzień dobry, Skin, welcome to the Can we stream? So Dryad is not for winning online. No, it is on its own merit. It's a nice list. Well, list hand, sort of. Vexing Bauble can be crucial if I hold it till the right time. The Wandering Minstrel got cut. Yeah, I had to. Ending my amulet. You fool. Dryad is a so-called combo escape shift. Yeah, that never really happens, but technically it is. Technically Dryad plus escape shift is like Minstrel plus escape shift. They need way more mana. See that Levunga doesn't mulligan. He's not gonna be wasting his time mulliganing. Well, I need to draw something. Definitely keeping the Vexing Bauble though. What are you holding Bauble for? I don't want to get it prismatically ending. Bro, I'm pretty sure my hand was a keep. Okay. So I want to, like, seeing that my opponent is on one land, I want to be able to play Vexing Bauble and then the payoff spell in the same turn, ideally. Hopefully that's gonna happen sometime. I keep drawing ramp, which is okay. Maybe I'll bounce a Spelunking, frankly. Okay, draw a Titan. So I can keep Otawara. Hopefully Villain misses the land one turn extra and I get to play Bauble Titan. No preorders means the deck is basically all lands. That is so true. Oh no. That's so bad. Now I can get counterspelled. Okay. If I get subbed, like that's fine. I can just keep casting Titans and my opponent pitches subs. I am all for it. Last weekend you added a Bristling Backwoods as card 61 and won multiple games with it. Well, won multiple games with it just means that you won and Bristling Backwoods was in your deck, but it doesn't mean that it was actually the cause of your wins at all, right? Quite the opposite. So, congrats, but like Bristling Backwoods is, I think, not very justifiable. 69 special, oh you? No, I swear it's serious. It's like well thought through and it makes sense. This is the perfect card count I wanted this entire time. Provided I wanted to play a red Titan deck. Alright, we keep it on top, just cast Titan every turn. I can't get to 12 mana yet, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, so probably not getting there, but too bad. So I'm not sure I want to play out the remaining lands. I don't know if I can use more mana. Pretty tricky. In those spots, maybe Mr. Beast in the future is better. Or something. But also maybe I will want to do two things. Okay, Titan resolved, so I get consigned. Sure. Let's play the land then, because seems like I'm in a good spot, so it doesn't matter what I do anymore. And maybe more mana will be useful, because maybe I want to play Titan next turn and then Otawara my Spelunking end of turn to draw an extra card. Weird thing in a pitch like blue-white control deck like this with Quantum Rizzler is that how often do you intend to Well, I hope he doesn't have a counter spell. How often do you intend to like actually have an empty hand and draw 2 with Rizzler? Kinda crazy. Can't be happening that often. Has our opponent considered using a playable deck? I think this is a pretty bad matchup. So I'm not one to start bad-mouthing my opponent's deck when I fear every card they have in their deck. The nice thing about Rizzler is that it draws 2 when you need it the most, I guess. Yeah, but then also at other times it draws none. Okay, I can live with that. Top. I guess I will not be bouncing yet because I have a spell for the next turn. In control, legacy control, because you 2-for-1 yourself with forces, then you have an empty hand. I see. 69 cards and no sex main deck. Holy shit, that's true. Chat, did you know that if 3 didn't exist, then 69 would be a prime number? Curious, right? Wrath, my Spelunkings. Well, I wish I had 4 mana to bounce now. Rizzler triggers beans when warped. Wow. True. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What does it even mean 3 doesn't exist? Well, it's so that the number should go 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And not 3. Incredible top deck. Well, I got subtletied. Twice in a row. What else am I supposed to draw? Let's get Saga T-West. I can bounce T-West next turn. Fetch, consign, ending, subtlety, tune, salt, and consult. Why are we back to Dryad? So that we can have a... Well, so the actual reason is that I was at 67 and I was like, yeah. 2 cards, you say. But then, you know, I thought, okay, Valakut is a red source for the red sweepers. So is Dryad. And I felt the need to have a middle mana cost monster to GSZ4. So it could have been Sex main deck, but I'm not so sure about Sex main deck being great. It has its matchups. But to expand on what I just told Levunga here, the matchup is pretty horrible. Like, it's really hard to beat. Like, it's pretty easy to beat pitch subtleties, you just recast Titans, but it's quite hard to beat cast subtleties because it's a 2-for-1 and it starts attacking you. While, you know, like, it's a 3-for-1 to pitch a subtlety versus not to pitch it because you lose a card when you pitch subtlety and you gain a card when you hardcast subtlety. Therefore, it makes no sense to keep a lowland hand, right? Because the games you pitch, you lose more easily. What is strong is just I cast Titan, I cast subtlety, I counter it. But, well, good for me. Almost clicked Mulligan on accident. Marsh Flats. Don't draft me, bro. Somebody asked me how they should react sideboard wise with their amulet if their meta is infested with blink and frog. And I think I would play disputes and stock ups if that was the case. For dismembers, just keep like the basic. The choice you get to make is to skip or to play Spelunking if they play a Flicker Wisp, Valiant to Flicker Wisp. So basically the choice is whether you play like Disputes or Pyroclasms. That's the choice you get to make in this deck. In the Amulet deck. Dawaj, bez Flicker Wispa. One time. Ketchamos, cool. That's irrelevant. $69 cards, very immature. Bro, no, it's serious. Why are you telling me it's immature? Well, I'm just trying my best to build the best possible deck. Spending hours staring at the monitor and thinking of strategic applications of cards. I summon a 7 mana 2/2. It resolved. Wow, no lands. Expected a main exility? I did not know. I was just making fun of my opponent. Yeah, Solitude Pause. Did you know that Preordain was once a banned card in the format of Modern? Fun fact. So was Ancestral Vision. Holy shit, that one is even funnier. Fury is banned, by the way. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. Fury banned. Which card is stronger, Fury or Ancestral Vision? Discuss. It's not a trick question. I pitch Solitude. Dobra. I pitch Solitude. Royce being a professional time waster. No context at all. You know, no context. Just not everything needs context. Just answer to the question the best you can. Fury is probably stronger. Interesting. Do we want Vexing Bauble? Sort of. Not much, really. Vexing Bauble is not particularly important. Pretty hard to actually lose to Solitude, and it's more cards that you can draw and then play, and then your opponent casts interaction on consign. Interesting. I think we can chill with the saga, don't want it to die. If I go turn 1 Mirrorpool, next one I can go Amulet, Turf, Explore, hold up Dismember for Felia, which should put me in an excellent position. Doesn't let my opponent spend mana on co-sign to memory. High Noon, oh kurwa. That greatly reduces the amount of spells I can cast. Mirrorpool looks really cool. Yeah, it's also really bad to draw, but at least now we get to look at this black hole Saturn thing. Holy shit, this High Noon is actually somewhat annoying. Don't think I want a saga. Could easily lose to Ashiok, so the Constructs versus Ashiok angle might be relevant. Doesn't High Noon hurt them more than us? Well, they cast an Ashiok now, then it doesn't. Ty skurwysynu pierdolony, no. Z Ashokiem grający. Yes, activate, because why not activate? It's like so stupid, just activate. Well, actually it's fine. Ay, kurwa, no, Ashiok is so rough, chat. Why does Ashiok exist? I ask. You just lose games to it, and there is nothing to be done. What's Isure? Nice one card to cast per turn. Beautiful t-shirt master. It's a shirt, not a t-shirt. See that? It's a Well, how is this part of a shard called even? Chat, help me out. Kołnierzyk. To będzie... Whoa, Titan, not Dismember. Collar, yes. Ooh. Well... I mean, I don't kill the Ashok, so maybe it doesn't matter. I think it doesn't actually. I changed my mind. I want to play an Amulet this turn. So next turn I have a haste construct. If I need to, but I can kill Felia here. Still. If my opponent drafts the skies, then I will shit my pawns. And so is the so is life, I guess. Shitting of the pawns would ensue. My analyst has been exiled, which is annoying. Kinda rough not to play the second Otawara and two Ashioks being sort of prevalent. Can't hold up Dismember. Sad. They played a Bogart Bog. I can't. That was so bad. Alright, whatever. I can't attack the Ashok because they obviously have Soul Tooth. I shouldn't have hasted. I should have kept up Dismember mana. That was really bad. But I can't let them trade off for the construct I needed to win the game. Tapping out of Dismember for no reason, so bad. Valakut, the Molten Pineapple is gone, chat. Nic co masz drugiego skurwysyna? Overall of the Belmurk, okay. We can do it, chat. We can draw Dismember or an artifact. O nie, kurwa, nie mogę dobrać Dismember. Ja pierdolę, no. Stupid High Noon. Is a black sideboard so much worse? It's horrible. Like, you can't play Abrupt Decay ever. Never didn't have it. Actually, they have High Noon, I can't. I blew it by not holding up a Dismember. It's so bad for me. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, I think... Cool, then Flickerus can just blink my construct if they want to. This is so bad. It'd be so good if they would just return Solitude with Overlord, would be still pretty bad. Also notice how opponent has been milling me this entire time with Ashiok instead of milling themselves. As they're playing a deck with Overlord of the Balemurk. Maybe they will target Solitude. No nie, they're too smart. No outs. You win. Congrats. But black removal is pretty bad into Asher. Well, it's just it's gonna be pretty bad in the deck. Could play Lithomantic Barrage. It's not a good card at all. It's rough. Second Otawara is realistically amongst the better ones. He's a board out Escape Shift. Which doesn't make that much sense because you don't really beat an Ashok when they draw it. Hallowed Fountain? Relic, sure. Dobra, nie wkurwia mnie, no. No, I want an Amulet effect or Lance. We've got a monster with power and toughness, so that can attack Ashiok 3 times. For sure that's gonna work. I know, bro, like, what's your idea with that? Like, this one I don't really understand. Why do they board it in? I guess it was technically sort of game winning last match, but also not quite. That's so goofy and makes little sense to me. Ashiok. Smart ending, okay. Draw step, get Saga. Chapter 1, main phase, get chapter again. Next turn. Escape through a free lands and shit my pants and lose to High Noon plus Relic because lose to Flicker Wisp on which Blessed Meadow as well. Raf. Okay. I say okay, but it is actually horrible. Let's draw. I wanted to say Spelunking, but I guess. Would be a minstrel moment, perhaps. Wow, really? They had Flicker Wisp? They chose to cast Raf? Seems way better to Raf. Playing the Witch plus Meadow? Maybe not. Maybe they have Ashiok. Bro, you have to tap blue to play Ashiok. Okay, you have Ashiok, you won. Congrats. So, I don't know what to do about that, chat, but the Ashiok's popularity is pretty high right now. I keep. Last seen deck 4 days ago, Grixis Reanimator. What do you think is the median number of cards in a deck in MTG? I don't actually know what's median. What's the meaning of the word median, so I can't tell. Turn 2 with MTG Premium. Yeah, it doesn't even have to be that premium, just a little bit premium. Median is when you take medium and divide it by 2. Pojebane. Co tak się robi. New badge, congrats Barczek. Median is you take all the numbers, order them, and then remove points at each end until you have only one. Okay, I see. Why is that a weird thing to write then? Average median. Where 6 and 7 year badges? Soon. I will remember to make them, obviously. Put moves to 5. Yes, reminder in December is good. I bet they're looking for the one of Ashiok. Sure. Oh, Ornithopter, new deck. That's a good matchup. And typically doesn't play Ashiok, so that's good. Then move to 5. That's it. No land. Okay. Playing Ornithopter is kinda crazy. I assume they also play Cranial Plating if they do. Canister, hello. Hello, Terry Bad MTG. What up? Oh, they have one card left. Ornithopter, jak założy zaraz kamaszę i ci gonga wykurwi. You sure? You sure it will założy kamaszę? I was waiting for the canister wins pop up, but I guess we are not getting it the easy way. Sadly. I do have the standard showcase token. Fancy art Muta Vault. It's not even a Muta Vault, it's a Mirrorpool. I played 2 standard LCQs and got the token. I've played 4 modern ones with various amounts of cards in my deck, and I only won one match in those, in all of those. And I think I played 3 Legacy Showcase, Legacy LCQs, and I also... Actually, I won none. Yeah, I lost round 1 in all 3 of them, so... At least it was all very quick in all of them. Do I play the space Lotus Field? No, no space. So I have the standard one. Affinity. I mean, I guess the Ornithopter Arboreal Grazer is kind of okay. Just got 189 3 times in a row on that reaction time test. Congrats. You are truly a fast individual. Red Sweepers? No, because the actual threatening cards are Kappas and stuff like that. So it's just kind of bad to bring in the Red Sweepers. It's got 1 Saga because they like to... Actually, no, they don't have that much interaction for Saga. Got 1 extra Grazer. Dobra, chuj. If I need to sideboard, I will sideboard for game 3. Maybe your opponent will Blood Moon me or something, but then too bad. Seems like I keep this. This game we both keep 7. Chivalry. I think I've seen those decks play Chivalry. I don't really understand necessarily all of that, but Ornithopter, cool. Kocham cukierki pudrowe marki Minitia. Dobrze. Is Chivalry really better than the Fastland? Spirebluff Canal? That's kind of surprising to me. Although, I guess I could get mooned next turn. Did I bring an Ouphe? I should have. I did, okay. So I can land distract my opponent. Did I? I did, yes. Ouphe is not in the sideboard. Maybe they play an Eldrazi that needs colorless. I don't think so. I've seen the deck list for this deck before, and they did not. Look again. Did I not? No nie ma Ouphe'a in my sideboard, so it should be in my deck. Like sometimes there are matchups where you have obvious cards to bring, and I just kind of bring them reflexively without thinking about this much, and then you realize, holy shit, I forgot this time. Collector Ouphe, no jest, siedzi. Activated abilities cannot be activated. Alright, we can close the sideboard now because we already got what we needed. I play Mishra's Bauble. I play Forecast. I draw 2. Okay. My hand has both Mirrorpool and TOS. I guess having TOS is good, but my hand has Mirrorpool in it, which means I wouldn't be able to Giga combo next turn, but I would just mildly combo a little bit, and that would be fine as well. Just attack with a Titan and then kill, hold up a Boseiju, whatever. Draw 2, concede. Well, they also played a hate card that they can't beat. So they were like, holy shit, why is this Titan deck playing Collector Ouphe? Shitty hate card that's only good against my deck, which is exactly how I felt when I played against that Ashiok person a round before. No Amulet effect. I don't even play the Grazer on turn 1. Oi oi oi. 5 of this. Oi oi oi. 4 cards. Maybe we should keep this, but I think on 4 might have a better chance. Keep. Put back Saga. Titan. Oh ja pierdolę. Not sure that works. Maybe I keep those 4. 2 lands, Titan and Splunking. Maybe I want a Dryad Arbor. I think Saga is gonna be pretty bad on 4, unless I draw exactly another Amulet to win on turn 3. Would be nice if I would get to keep 6. Maybe I should put back Titan, try to win with Scapeshift. I think that works well. Draw Scapeshift can let me win. It is Boros. Alright, I'll Vesuva the Elegant Parlor over Dryad Arboring. No. 2 Baron, 4 cards to Grazer. And I can if I want to. Okay, I want to. Against Iragavan. What's better, 2 Elegant Parlor or a Multi 4? Honestly, a close game. I top deck Scapeshift and the next 2 I just win on turn 3. Because I can get Blood Moons. Or Fraben Charmed. But if my opponent taps out for an Ajani, then I just go Spelunking, Vestige, play Vesuva, copy Vestige, and win. His remaining moons, last list, had 1 moon and 4 bombardment. It's kind of funny that it took another Modern Horizons set to make bombardment an incredible card in Modern. But at first it was pretty shit. Ocelot Proud and Ajoni. Alright, 2 looks for Scapeshift to win oh! Holy fucking shit, chat. Sometimes rewarded. Always listen to Tangrams when he tells you to mulligan. Sometimes lucky. The lesson when mulling to 5 or 4, go for the Scape Shift kill, because it requires less resources than the Titan kill. And it's more likely that random draws are gonna end up being helpful, because sometimes when you're Scape Shifting, all you need is a forest. Or like any land, or any green producing land will get you there. Alright, if Moons and Force of Vigor comes in, Orims can't. He truly can't, yes. I'll board out Dryad Arbor, 1 Green Sun Zenith, and 2 Sagas. I think boarding out Dryad Arbor seems more important than boarding out a Saga. I don't know what, I think GSZ is bad against energy just in general, which some disagree. But I think it might be worse than Saga. Yeah, because of the Rose change. Of course, if Blood Moon still killed my Sagas, then I would cut them. How do you win with 4 lands? You can read my Scape Shift article or read this. At 4 lands just means 9 mana and then T-West for Analyst and then T-West again. Very nice hand. Missing an Amulet effect, but is good. Hey. Maybe a tough hand for opponent, but I'm keeping 7 this time. Villain moves to 6. I keep. Day 1 of asking Canister to play Pioneer Amulet. Oh yeah, I'm currently on my way to playing the Pioneer Amulet deck for sure, buddy. Currently working on it. Actually, I would like to. Maybe there's gonna be a Pioneer RCQ on Magic Online someday. Then I will. Mirrorpool, more like Mirror Poop. I like Govno. Dead to Moon. Season Pyromancer. Less dead to that. Wow, discard 2 mats. Flats. Well, I think I maybe made a mistake. Should have not played the Echoing Deeps, but a different land. That way I would have been able to play Echoing Deeps now and copy an Arid Mesa to get a Surveil next turn. Now the Surveil is infinite mana away from me. Fire magic worse than Vampire's Vengeance here, by the way. In this spot. Yellow Hat, welcome raiders. Seems like villain has nothing at the very least. Which is nice, but neither do I. Well, that's not even true. We will do that. We will transmute Tolaria West, get a Pact. Now, I will put Grazer into play. And I will Echoing Deeps, and I'll copy the Arid Mesa now. Put an upkeep stop so I can fetch a Surveil. I guess it was unfair to say I have nothing, like opponent clearly doesn't have anything. They played a top land, a top Sacred Foundry. And I can maybe... Alright. Arena, Werther. Nice energy deck. I mean, like, I guess the deck was nice, but they drew like shit, so... Ooh, Sunku. It's typically a frog player. So let's mulligan. This hand is stinky, yet less so than the previous one. I'll put back a bounce land. Should I get a Dryad Arbor? I don't think so. Into an open mana, polluted delta. Puts Unearth into their graveyard, that's crazy. Emperor of Bones, that's good. So maybe it's the Reanimator deck. So I win next turn. I go bounce land, bounce back, Crumbling Vestige, Dryad, play Crumbling Vestige, Escape Shift with 4 lands. Obviously I can get Thoughtseize, which I would prefer not to happen, but maybe we can avoid that. Maybe I can get lucky enough to avoid getting rinsed by Thoughtseize. No, pay costs, please, just a nerf. Yes. Troll of Khazad-dûm. Nice. I think Grixis seems like a fine matchup. 2 amulets just to make sure. No scoop. Crazy. I think my opponent cannot really have anything, right? Yeah, they can't. I Tolaria West. I grab Summoner's Pact. I Summoner Pact. Summoner? I barely knew her. Alright. So I think against Reanimator Dryad is actually pretty weak. Dismember and maybe 6 come in. Dismember kills Archon, Oculus, Frog, Emperor of Bones. Archon after persisting. Seems pretty good actually. Affects a lot of stuff. Does the order you select the lands with Escape Shift matter for the amulet triggers? Not at all. You get to choose the order in which you will put your triggers into play. Really. I'll board out 2 Grazers. Board down a Boseiju maybe. And I'm at 70. So I would maybe want to cut 1 extra card. Saga versus Consign. It's not like they will destroy the Saga though, so if they spend a Consign, it's not like a huge deal. Maybe the Sex is not good, maybe the last Grazer, but there is Frog in their deck, so I would like to block it. Maybe just one extra Boseiju. I think Boseiju is pretty useless against their deck, right? Except for being a green source. How do I feel about other Amulet gamers ditching the sweepers and going with Strix Serenade and Mystical Dispute? Well, I've been playing with Dispute as well. There is basically a choice. You have to choose your path. Play red, splash, improve your Boros matchup, or play counter spells to improve your other matchups. I'm more sure of the red splash actually doing that because sweepers are pretty clearly good against Boros and they let you counter their plan of Orims chanting you. While Strix Serenade and Mystical Dispute have a huge downside in not being like castable in most configurations. Let's mulligan. Sea keeping, but alright, I'll keep this. I need to top deck something, but I'll put back a Lotus Field and then we have, if they don't discard my amulet or kill it, then I have 2 scape shifts. Sounds good. But certainly Strix Serenade is a response to the problems that are arising, which is Ashiok and Blink, but I don't even think Strix Serenade is like particularly great besides Ashiok against that deck. Can draw Spelunking, which would be really relevant to play on turn 2. If I get consigned and draw Spelunking, I'm still happy though. But also villain, like surveilling is high impact for them. So letting them surveil is not nothing. Because every surveil means like 4 in 52 chance of pinning Archon and then just winning. Strix Serenade also counters Magus and Frog. Yeah. Like the issue with that is that you don't have that. You can't do that. Like you don't have the blue mana to counter the threats that easily. You've seen that plenty of times on this stream chat. I guess we can win next turn. Maybe. Not really. I can Titan next turn. If I draw something, I can maybe turn that into a win, but that something would need to be a Pact. Oh, that's a good draw. You might be overreacting due to losing to Esper Bounce and Ashok over and over. It is a bit rough, yeah. For Strix Serenade, you really need to go with multiple fetches and shocks and surveils. Yeah, for sure. Which you can't do because it's impossible to fit them unless you go to over 80, over 60. Well, over 80, that's like you don't need that. That's a bit much, but over 60. How do I play around that extremely obvious counter spell? Well, this deck doesn't play counter spells, really. The Grixis Reanimator deck doesn't do that, so seems like villain has it 6th, so I will just play around it the normal way. If I get consign on that, then sure, like, fine, whatever. I just Scapeshift kill them. 6 mana, 2 mana floating, so I get Lotus Field, Bounce Land, so that's not enough. No, I have to play Titan. And I would need 1 more extra spare mana for that to function. Really, that's it? Right, 5 Crumbling Vestiges. Crumbling Crumbling is coming, crumbling. Crumbling for you. Tolaria West. Simic Grove Chamber. We've also thought about Gemstone Cavern just to try and be faster. I don't think Gemstone Cavern even makes you meaningfully faster, and it's like the opposite of it, the card I would want against Esper. So like you could also be... So the last 2 times I played against Esper, I also lost to Ashiok. But if you just remember that most lists don't actually even play Ashiok, then you'll be fine. And they'll, you know, Mark Winsauce doesn't play Ashiok. So just remember that and just believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, actually, there's a skiff. But it's really hard to plan for Ashiok, and you will mostly not succeed because the answers for it are pretty non-existent. So train your peace of mind and learn to dodge and be okay with outcomes in life that sometimes do not please you. So I think losing to Ashiok builds character. Try harder to win every other match and game where they don't have Ashiok. Be it in the Esper matchup or in other matchups entirely. I think those are the lessons to take. Or play Strix Serenade and cope. Choose your path. Somehow I tapped my Urza's Cave. 1.8 Ashioks and 42% of Esper decks. Yeah, sure. Does it sound like a lot to you or little? Canister won the match. We are 4-1 in the challenge. My loss was to Ashiok, by the way, which was seemingly unavoidable. We are up against Lord Egg. Oh, last seen playing Eldrazi of all things. Interesting. I think I'll keep this. I would not keep without Dryad Arbor in the deck. But I want to go... Amulet. Saga Amulet and then... Soul Guide Lantern main deck. Holy shit. Turn 2, I will summon the Arbor. So this is probably colorless Eldrazi, yeah. It's a good draw. Does it let me do anything this turn? Not quite, so I guess I will not. And hopefully I will not die to my opponent's Fleshraker. But who knows? Who really knows? This is a brute scale deck, actually. Well, I guess I'll just die. It's a brute scale with Whatnot Seer and Devourer. Interesting. Which means I die. Which explains the turn 1 saga as well. Like, I guess it's not too surprising to see it's a brute scale deck. I was thinking if it's maybe one. I'd say Ugin Slab, Devourer, brute scale. Too bad we were on the draw because on the play I would have just won, but on the draw I just lost. Holding out 2 sagas, yeah, is good. Don't like the Ouphe. I don't really like Ouphe Needle, this type of effects. Barrow Downs should be in my deck though. Or maybe I should board out Dryad Arbor. It's a bit weak against the Kozilek's command deck, which can sometimes just kill it for free. Although it's never really for free. You will always find modes for your Kozilek's command. It's not like you're gonna be short on modes. Titan. Mulligan. I guess I'll keep this. Put back the Dryad Arbor just so that I can fetch it. Turn 1. Point kept 7. Hopefully I can navigate this game and win somehow. But I guess one disastrous scenario is if my opponent just plays a soul land and exiles my Arbor. Alright, turn 1 steering, cool. Basking brute scale, let's go. I think I want to keep the bounce land in hand. I could bounce Dryad Arbor, but that just doesn't seem to do much. I'll go with Urza Saga. I guess that doesn't do much either, and maybe opens me up to being interacted with a bit more than I would have otherwise. Because a removal spell, a disenchant. Actually, it was really bad, because now if my opponent kills my Arbor, I can't... Like, they just go Kozilek's command, kill Arbor, draw a card. Or this. That was so bad. Why not deploy Spelunking? Because my... Oh. Yeah. That was a Giga Lapse of Judgment. Do not Spelunking here. I kinda just... I got fixated on my commercial district being tapped and thinking I can't for some reason. Well, deploying Spelunking versus the pick your poison play, that would be also be pretty incredible, so I guess it's fine, but... No, kurwa, rozjeb mnie teraz za karę, ziomeczku. Right, saved, kinda. I have to keep up this member or I'll die. Or I'll be close to. Will I die? Blade. Whip. 0 drop, then I die. We've seen the brute scale from the ancient steerings. Hello, Da Vinci MTG. Cage. Oh. That blocks my GSZ. Should board them out then. If that's how my opponent plays. Should get rid of as many as I can. Okay. Let's keep the Boseiju. And before villain searches for a needle names Boseiju. Vexing Bauble. Cool. They revealed Hanweir Might and some crap. Card type check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In their graveyard. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. Oh, that's a lot. I'll kill the Brute Scale. And I'll hit the Gav Digger's Cage. Hope to draw a bounce land. Okay. Probably bounce a bounce land back to my hand. Get a Primeval Titan. Check Emrakul mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have to make a choice. Play around Emrakul or play around non-Emrakul. Play around Brute Scale. Well, we know they have Might. That they did not play. And it seemed like they were conserving the spawns, so I think I'll play around Emrakul.
He's a phenomenal control player.
34 months of cringy chatting Pogokanakie.
Welcome to the Canny stream again, Pururin, and thank you for 34 months of doing whatever it is that you exactly are doing. I summon Barrow Downs. This game was ugly. If I lose, then I lose, I guess. Whatever. Now they cannot Emrakul. Dryad is in my graveyard, interestingly. Was TOS or Mirrorpool better here since they have the bubble? Oh. Well, I guess the bubble is a problem. I filtered it out mentally. Should have got an Urza's Cave maybe then. For meaningfulness. Getting to choose later. But yeah, TOS was kinda bad. Bad against the Wowrer as well. Oh, bro, will you have another Brute Scale into the sword, into a payoff? Jaki kurwa laker, no. Well, let's see if they have the payoff. Not clear, right? I did play around Emrakul, so I guess I'm kinda thinking they will have Emrakul.
He's a phenomenal control player.
How do you feel about this MU in general?
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good matchup. Why only 69 cards? I had to strike the balance between the deck being decently large and also the deck being still functional. And 69 is just perfect. Alright, so opponent had Emrakul and then Brute Scale. Do I die to that? Probably. Well, I mean, show me. Draw Lotus Field, cool. The coolest card to draw when your opponent is mind controlling you. Draw the sack outlet. You can bog me. I don't know, we'll see. Lots of things the opponent can do. Well, they can also they can just loop. At least we didn't draw Scape Shift. True, but also they can just loop. Gravedigger's Cage, what a card. Alright, we'll see what they will do. How does the opponent even know which card they selected? I don't know. Let's see if Lord Egg is going to successfully analyst loop. I mean, they see which cards get highlighted, so that's probably how they know what got selected. Pretty horrible to not have cast that Spelunking on turn 2. Pretty rough mistake to make. Definitely, possibly quite just game ending. Yeah, if I pacted for a Mirrorpool, they could just not pay, yes. Then I lose. Crumbling Vestige. If you don't know what you're doing, shouldn't you just fail to find a Pact there? Well, what if you want to learn? Seems like a good opportunity to. Although, albeit maybe a bit risky. Vesuva. Well, it seems like my opponent is playing quite poorly. Seems like we have a chance to win, chat. If you Emrakul the Amulet deck, then it would be pretty broken. Like me personally, yeah, I think I could do a lot of stuff. But here villain just actually let me untap with 2 Titans. Which is quite nice. And maybe means has 1 Titan, gets Emrakul and taps with 2 Titans, yeah. Alright, right, where do we go from there though? Deeps and graveyards. Vesuva and graveyard. The least I could do is to attack with both Titans. Get bounce on Otawara, bounce on Boseiju. Kill the Blade of the Blood Chief. Bounce the Big Brute Scale. 1 Titan gets suicided. And then I survive. I take 14. I still on top with a Titan. We have a Dryad in the graveyard, so we can simply get a Woodland. I have a Valakut in play. Opponent's at 12 life, plus 2 from Hanweir Might. Do I have the fetch land? Wooded Foothills, but I have more fetch lands, right? Or just one? No, just one fetch land in the deck. Draw first, not clear that I want to, so that's why I'm thinking. If I play Simic Grove Chamber, return whatever, Crumbling Vestige. attack. Get Woodland and Boseiju, whatever. Then I get Bounce Land and Urza's Cave. Then I use Urza's Cave later on to fetch anything. So that's 2 triggers. Then I play land. No, then I play land with Explore and the Urza's Cave. That's 5 triggers. That's 15, right? Seems good. Dryad Explore land drops. 1, 2, 3. Can we not attack first, get Vestige and Woodland, make a Dryad and move on from there? Well, that's what I said. Oh, you see. Yeah, so like even more triggers than that. Yeah, I said play land first. Good catch. So we have even more. So my opponent just put themselves deterministically dead. Can use might. Dryad is a creature. They're at 14 now. Well, 6 life. Then I play land. Fetch a land. That's 9. And I can also explore to deal 18. If they had Analyst and return all green sack or bounce, will that be better? Well, they could Analyst loop, and with Analyst loop they could kill me with the Dryad damage, or deck me with Cultivator Colossus, or sacrifice all the lands with Lotus Fields while creating an infinite stack of pacts for me to pay. Which requires a lot of clicks, and it's not like always the clearest that you can do that, but they could kill Dryad with might. Alright, chat, let's do a session of reading Hanweir Might together. Non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment. Now Dryad of the Ilysian Grove. Enchantment creature. Okay, is good. Let's board down on GSZs. If they bring in Cage. Maybe I should even Ouphe. Not sure if that's the best strat ever, but we'll go with it. Ay, ay, ay. Well, if I draw an Amulet effect, the sand is good. I think I should keep it. Could just die to an early combo, but hope is I will not. Turn 1 Saga. Whoops. Well, that's an Amulet effect, although it's not fast enough to outrace my opponent's Amulet effect. Hopefully I draw Disremember. Asking Root Scale. How the fuck do they always have the turn 3 Yombo, chat? What is up with these folks? Maybe the matchup is horrible because they always have Basking Brute Scale. And Urza Saga and opening hand when I need it. I don't draw my stupid Dismember on time. You put yourself doves on board when you draw, I'm impressed. Well, I didn't. They played their turn. I'm just here chilling. Alright, maybe they need a win con. That's no win con. Don't worry, they will just hammer Colossus again. Hopefully. Playing costs, not good. Alright, chat. This was funny, but also a little bit sad at times. Got Giga High rolled by the Brute Scale deck. I don't think this is going to quite do it. It's a bit too weak. This looks way better. Although not an ideal hand by any means. Would prefer to be able to keep all of the cards in it. But as it stands, I guess I'll put back the Boseiju and just hope to draw other lands off the top. I think that's reasonable. Oh, it's Zoo. So nice. Also, chat, I've been on the play this tournament exactly once. What if I get a Dryad Arbor and block? Might be wise. Set my opponent back a lot. Alright, do you have start more on denial? If you do, I don't care, so I guess you're welcome to have it. Binding. Can't bind the Dryad Arbor. Also no play on turn 2. Crazy. What is their hand? Has to be 4 interactions. I surveil. Okay. Night binding. Sure. Happy to see that. Push spelunking in my hand already. Nice, nice. If I draw a bounce land or another vestige next turn, we get to perform game actions. Well, that counts. Maybe they will stubborn denial my thing though, or interrupt it again somehow. If they do, I don't think I care much. Seems like they might be sitting on an interaction card. But even then, I feel like asking them to show it to me is going to be the correct move. Let's perform a chill version of Scapeshift into untapped mana, which my opponent shouldn't be able to beat given their deck. Should have gotten another Growth Chamber over the Gruul Turf. Maybe. Worst case, I guess they play some kind of a hard counter right after Dragon's Tarkir Dragonstorm release. I have played against a Zoo decklist with Spectral Denial, I think it was the name of the card, just like pay X so that your opponent's creature gets countered. Alright, opponent conceded, so that's good. Let's go with Sex and Dismembers, as it is traditional. Although we have no cards against Zoo, other than Sagas. Dryad of the Ilysian Grove looks not great. I don't think Dryad looked great against anyone today, frankly. I did draw Valakut against the Brute-Scale deck as I was dying, so perhaps it actually cost me. Let's board it out then. 2 Sagas and a single GSZ, because GSZ can be weak against Stubborn Denial. Perhaps. Sometimes you just open yourself. Actually, you know, I shouldn't have so many dismembers, like, I don't need them. Yeah. You sometimes wonder if you... Doesn't really count because really opponent punted, but Dryad won you game 2 last game. Sort of, yeah. I think I had a... So I think I had a good chance at winning regardless of the Dryad as well. So I really don't want to count that as like a win for Dryad. Nice hand. Small again. I guess like when you see hands like this, you just think to yourself, huh, it is nice that they do allow you to put back your opening hand back. Sometimes. Maybe put back TOS here, keep the Lotus Field because it actually kind of works out for a turn 3 Titan. If uninterrupted. Dryad Arbor, nice draw. Alright, in that case I'm not playing Amulet into Consign. Just gonna hold. And play it next turn. We're gonna get a Surveil as well. Drawing Dryad Arbor horrible, but such is life. Life is horrible sometimes. You have to fight through it. There's something funny about that. No, it was not a nice draw. I said nice draw. Like, ironically, right? There's something deeply funny about Thundering Falls, Temple Garden, and Naya Spellbomb. I will screenshot that. Might want the Grazer, frankly. I think it's okay. I'm not playing my Amulet still because my opponent is pretty obviously sitting on a consign. Opponent pondering if they should crack their Spellbomb EOT. My advice to you, don't. It makes no sense to make such a play. Seems like they listened, they heard me and they listened. Like, yeah bro, I guess you're right. I really prefer not to. Will you consign my Grazer? No. I think I never had anyone actually pull the trigger on consigning Grazer. It does take immense balls to actually make that play. And it's pretty hard to know when it would be good from the opponent's POV. And typically if you hold up consign, that means you're playing a bit slower than usual, so like the extra like tempo from hitting Grazer wouldn't matter. No, Spellbomb not nothing, certainly. Maybe slightly punished for summoning playing out the bounce land. Not like I have many alternatives last turn. I guess the alternative would have been to not keep the Grazer. But I guess I will just summon the Dryad Arbor and that's it this turn. A bit weak, but I guess we can play Spelunking again. Play Spelunking if my opponent hits my Amulet. And just probably champ easily. 4 life is not nothing. Also wondering if we were supposed to keep Forest. With no Spelunking in hand, I'm pretty sure the Forest didn't do much. Flage my Dryad Arbor. This is the worst game ever for Dryad Arbor fans out there. But I can simply Titan now. So I guess I'll take that opportunity. If the arena flash, that's 12 damage plus 4. That's 16, so I don't die. Just fine, seemingly. Should I try to haste? Should I get a Boseiju? I think I should get a Boseiju. Also lets me deploy Spelunking. Cycle it. Maybe should play the Grazer as well this turn. Suction, this is so well put, Portable Head. I am thankful for your message in the chat. You know what? I'll Grazer and I'll put the Boseiju into play. Maybe that's bad. That's probably bad. I think that's bad. I think that's really bad actually after thinking about it a tad bit more. Alright, they cracked their bomb and cycle. That's good. That means that I don't have to prompt their bomb because I was thinking that I would probably rather have Boseiju in my hand to prompt their bomb. You missed John Star? Oh yeah. Chat, so many viewers were in the chat throughout the years and now they are all gone doing different things. Kind of wild if you think about it. I'm still here playing Amulet Titan on twitch.com/TV. Or I guess Magic the Gathering in general, because there was many times where I did not play Amulet Titan in the history of the world. Yet I block with Grazer. Boros mana. Remember Xerov, holy shit. The biggest fan of Undergrowth decks on the MTG Arena. Guilds of Ravnica. What now? Pact for Titan. Titan. Get Urza's Cave. Bounce land. Bounce Lotus Field. Play Lotus Field. Sacrifice Urza's Cave. Lotus Field. Get nothing because they will have consigned. They have an Indant Patriome or tapped. So I'm not worried about that. They might have binding. I know. But binding doesn't interrupt with looping if I can get towards a loop. Which I'm not sure I can. Alright, play Gruul Turf, bounce back Boseiju. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get Titan. Cave Lotus always loses 1 mana, I know. Dryad's time to shine. Dryad is like the one way for my opponent's binding to be relevant, so I'm pretty sure it is not. Also, I boarded it out, so I don't even have a chance to try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I get Cave Lotus. Sacrifice. Sacrifice Lotus Cave. Can't get to a loop, I think, unless I mill really well with Analyst. Maybe I should simply get a Titan and attack. I think so. I could have also gotten Mr. Beast, but that's kind of weak. Do I have Bog? No Bog, no. So I can shut a flash, but also I will be fine. Well, now I can, I guess, loop, right? Since they didn't interrupt. I can get Lotus Field and Urza's Cave. Maldita sta. I get Analyst. Even though I cannot go to Yemen. Calypso. Oh. Do I have Delirium? I do. Lush Portico. Wait. Now they can consign. What will they consign? I can't really meaningfully do anything with consign, right? Activated ability. That's like Haywire Might on Dryad of the Ilysian Grove. Let's find Mirrorpool from space. Hit that smug Indantatrium. Go to Yemen. Got 300k points, halfway of getting MVP. Only 6 more years are needed. You'll get there. Nilarvis. For sure, the price of the MVP badge will not increase in those years. How'd I skip through Amulet triggers? I have Spelunking in play. So I just choose my lands to enter the battlefield untapped when it asks me. And I do that by holding 3 on my keyboard, because that's the yes shortcut on my Magic Online, which should be the same for you, but maybe it is not, so check. Hope that helps. Lala. Lolo. Lilo. Or I guess by pressing yes right here. That's also an option. Yes, we're doing the blow up all the non-basics. Since there is so few and I'm already almost there, we can do it. Like it almost never happens, so let's do it for sport. It's the last round of the challenge as well, so we're probably not top 18 with 2 losses. Misplaced Ginger 7-0. Holy shit, I smell a raid victim incoming. Opponent. How did the Hasher gamer you lost to end up? Duran 97, 5-2. Alright. I have to give it to them. They did not squander. Adding songs right before the stream ends. No, we will get 8th. It's good. I'll type GG in the chat to either prompt my opponent to pass priority or rile them up. Their choice. Holy shit, okay, well that's that easy. You just say GG in the chat and they just scoop. Cool. Alright chat, this challenge. I was on the draw 6 times. I won 5 out of 2 matches. I lost one of the matches 0-3 basically. I lost a match to Ashiok, fully to Ashiok, nothing else. I mulliganed, not much. Oh, I kept like 8 sevens at the beginning of the stream, and then I went multi 4, 7, 6, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 6. So not too many mulligans. So it seems like being on the play is good, but not mulliganing is truly what's broken. Do you also write when you win through hate? Could be nice to know. Sometimes.